Alright, and welcome back. So last episode we did a bunch of stuff. We re-explored a bunch of parts of the world. We got a new little glyph. We defeated a boss. We managed to upgrade the sword even more. Now it's this cool little edgy blood blade. And now I need to go either here or, let's see, down here. I don't know if I can proceed any further by going down here, but I will try because I do not remember what that place was all about. I think it was just like a closed door. I'm pretty sure, yeah. So I'm just not gonna go there. I think I remember, and it was a closed door. And oh my goodness, I can't believe that I'm back at this place. I really detest this place. Because a few episodes ago, I was here and I had like this huge breakdown as to why the hell would they make this. It makes no sense that they would want to make this. What are they doing, you know? And I didn't really get into detail as to why. Like, why was I feeling like that? Like, besides like some quality issues of like bad artwork, bad level design, but didn't really get into detail. Because like, I'm gonna try to make it like very clear in like more layman-ish terms for people who are not constantly drowning in game design and like game theory and whatever. Okay, so let's imagine it like this, right? You want to make a game where you want to jump around, you have enemies you can kill, you don't want a very complicated combat system, so like every single weapon you have only has one attack. Like the sword only has this, you know? You can jump and slash, that's it. The dagger stabs forwards, the other swords stab forwards. There are weapons that swing downwards, but that's it, right? It's simple rules, supposed to be like fast, very quick, very easy to understand, fun. Not too much depth within like what you can do with each action, but like the depth come with like what build you want to make. You know, the depth comes with what build you want to make, right? So if you're making a game where the objective is you want quick, fast fun, and you want like treasures in some dead ends so that you always feel like you're making progress and these little micro progression moments, why would you make a level whose level design is completely against that, with an art style that is just inferior to everything else that's in the game? So I'm gonna give you an example. So cars exist, right? Vehicles outside, like cars, bikes, you know, motorbikes and stuff like that. So when cars were invented originally, they were created to meet the demand. People wanted to get somewhere faster and without getting tired. Like, you wanted to like walk 10 miles to get somewhere, you're gonna get tired, you're gonna get sweaty, you're gonna smell bad. So cars exist, right? All right, let me just do this. Where was the thing? Where was the thing? There was a guy that stopped time. There he goes, Sapphire. I gotta do this. There we go. So complicated. Anyways, so cars were created to meet a demand. The same way this game was created to meet a demand. But let's just stick with the car example for now. Like, before, there were no lines on the road, like properly separating left lane from right lane. People just had like a random amount of lanes on the roads in the beginning. Like, it wasn't very regulated. Speed limits weren't a thing. Stoplights were not a thing. Traffic regulating police officers were not a thing. Insurance was not a thing. You know? It was a mess. However, it was something that people really wanted and really needed, actually. Cars are very, very useful. So, lines got invented to like put on the floor. Proper rules were invented. You know? Like, people didn't know where to cross the road. So crosswalks didn't exist. So like, pedestrians were getting killed or like at least seriously injured because there were no crosswalks anywhere. So crosswalks were invented. Rules for like stopping your car when someone wants to like cross the road were invented, and like stuff like that. It got adapted. Okay? And now like speed limits were invented, and you have roads where you can go really fast. Really, really fast. Like the normal here in Portugal, like within towns and cities, it's like 30 to 50 kilometers per hour. We use the metric system, deal with it. So like, when you go into a highway, it's usually like 110, 120 depending on where you want to go. Please jump on the button, thank you. So, you know, like rules and like good things were created to adapt to the fact that people wanted cars, right? So, this game, rules were created to adapt to the fact that you want to have a quick, fun adventure. Right? Like, yeah, every room has some enemies, sometimes new enemies, sometimes old enemies, sometimes new enemies that pick up on old gimmicks. All right, so // All right, let me save. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna save it on F5 so I can check this place later. So you have all of these rules, right? You can jump, attack very quickly, like move quickly, it's fast, it's fluid. Like, it's meeting the demand that, like, people want for, like, quick, fast adventures, big castle, labyrinths, you know? A map that slowly, like, reveals itself as you explore. Mysteries, new souls, equipment, synergies, awesome And then, you add an entire level where it completely breaks the promise that you set for the players that wanted to play this game. That is not good design. Period. It's fine if you want to, like, play around with players' expectations, it's fine. But if it's just painful, don't do it. Now, I'm gonna pick that example up and adapt it to cars. What if, from now on, water on the street was just a normal thing? And I'm not talking, like, about, like, floods or rain. Just, like, now every single road out there, it's like this... It's just a river. It's just this painful to walk through river. And cars walk slowly. And it's clunky, and it's not fun, and it makes you wish you were not there in the first place. Nobody wants to get in the car that is driving in the very wet road that is going super slowly. It's just garbage. It just feels terrible, you know? So people don't do that to cars. They do their best to avoid it specifically. So why do that to a video game? Why do that? I don't get it. But yeah, that's it. Like, I hope I made some sense, because this is a very hard to explain situation. Normally, I would have like a cool PowerPoint explaining all of this, you know? But like, I'm just trying to explain this from my memory, and I hope this wasn't like a rambling mess. But yeah, that's it. Like, if you're gonna set up rules, make them consistent, and if you're gonna like play around with them, don't make it so that it's torture, you know? Don't make it torture for the players. The same way that don't make it like torture for drivers to drive on the road. Otherwise, like, cars wouldn't sell as well, or like at all. The same way with this game. I know it's just like one area in the game, I get it, but at the same time, I'm just like, it took so long when I first played, it felt like forever. So it was so garbage that it genuinely felt so bad that, like, I thought about dropping the game and, like, not editing any of the videos and, like, not being here. Because when I find some really inexcusably bad BS in any experience, I just leave. I just go away. I don't have to deal with it. I really don't, and I could have just walked away from this game. I didn't. Because the purpose of all of this is to experiment and learn and take it through to the end, even if it's not being super pleasant. There was a game that I dropped, which you will see if, like, this is on YouTube. That other video game that I dropped, you will see it as well. But in that other video game, it was just, I think, worse. I think way worse. But you'll see. You'll see. But I generally don't like dropping video games, even if you're, like, being very frustrating or very bad. It's only when it's, like, pretty much 100% inexcusable. Pretty much. And in this case, for this video game, it feels like an area where they wanted to experiment with new gimmicks, but it just went wrong in every single way. However, they kept it in. They just kept it in. Because I imagine that, like, they were very tight for a proper release. Okay, so what do I gotta do here? Oh, I gotta blow it up there. Okay. But yeah, that's it. Like, oh, it didn't blow up. But yeah, it's just a garbage situation. Alright, I can do this. Oh no, I broke the wrong thing. That's fine, I like this puzzle. You can just do this. And do this. Okay, there we go. It broke. Thank you. Anyways, as I was saying, like, this area feels like the best intentions, but just executed very poorly. And, like, I assumed they were running out of budget, and, like, somehow, because it looks very bad, very unfinished. It looks like a bunch of assets from another unfinished, like, how do you call it, the shovelware, like acid flip game, you know? It feels and plays like it, and it's such a shame. So, like, if you ever make a game, try to understand what promises you are giving your players with what expectations you set for them. And if you break those expectations, make sure it's not a pain. Make sure that it's still part of the reason as to why they're still playing the video game, and not like a commitment that they're just like, man, I guess I'm gonna continue because I already spent a lot of time, and the sunk cost fallacy doesn't, like, psychologically, doesn't make me want to leave, you know? Because, like, people tend to, like, keep going with something painful because they already spent time on it, you know? But I'm just doing it for the sake of, like, pure research. I can guarantee you, if I wasn't recording this gameplay, I would have dropped this game. I really would have, and just would have started playing something else that I know for a fact is better and doesn't have, like, weird quality dips mid-game, you know? But yeah, that's it. I hope, like, the car invention metaphor was useful enough. Because I really try to, like, go back to that when I'm designing anything. Like, the entire cars thing. Like, why roads were invented. Why are they, like, this easy to navigate through. Even where there's, like, traffic jams and stuff, there's, like, rules for it. You know? To help mitigate any frustration and bad times. And, like, accidents and stuff. So yeah, like, try to keep your promises. Try to understand why people are interacting with your thing in the first way. In the first place, sorry, not in the first way. Man, English is not my main language, and it's starting to show a lot. Okay, so hand, please get owned. Okay, I gotta switch gear. Do I need to equip something different? No, actually, I should. Killer clown. Okay. All right. Sir. Oh my goodness. Potion? This is not a good boss. It's just this weird tiny room. The hitbox and hurt boxes aren't very clear. You know, it's so another one of those situations that like breaks the promises that the game gives you. There you go. Got it. Beautiful. Bat Company, finally, I have the bat form. There we go. I can now fly around anywhere and everywhere, finally. It's kind of slow, but, you know, I can go anywhere now. Okay. 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 Okay, so where to go next? A little thing that I'd like to add to, like, that entire keep your promises thing. Remember that the first Castlevanias weren't very good, and I generally think they weren't very good games. They were probably amazing for the time. I've played them, and I don't get it. I don't get it. I understand that some people defend the fact that, like, oh, the whip was slow because it was meticulous and, like, well thought out, and I think you're giving too much credit to the people that made the game. I think it was just, like, honestly poor programming at the time, and people found a way to excuse it. It was just like unfortunate limitations and poor programming. That like the whip felt delayed in a way. I generally think it was like an oversight, and people took it as like, oh, that was designed to be like that. But I can guarantee you, even if some developer of that game comes out and says, oh no, we like totally planned it to be like that, I don't believe them. I generally believe that they would be lying through their teeth. Through their teeth. Because nowadays, these like 2D Metroidvanias, when you attack something, it's fucking like skachow, like immediately. Look at this, it's just like, it feels fucking amazing to play. And like, the challenge doesn't come with interfacing with the game and using the controls, it comes from actually playing the fucking game and understanding the challenges in front of you, you know? So that like, they made the games better in that sense, in a lot of ways, a lot of ways. All right, so going back, there we go. So yeah, like, they made their core experience better, and they tried to make even better games around them. They really did. Like, I think that, like, Area of Sorrow, like, surpasses any other Castlevania that came before it. Including Symphony of the Night, because Symphony of the Night is a beautiful game, right? Amazing soundtrack and everything, like, I think that game is way prettier than Area of Sorrow, truth be told, but I think Area of Sorrow just plays better, because they understood. Like, I think with Area of Sorrow, they finally understood, like, what they actually wanted to make with a Castlevania game, and what people enjoyed the most. Which was, like, the entire number go up, move faster, cool castle, cool level design, interesting character designs, a story that doesn't really matter, but it's just in the background, and it doesn't stop your gameplay, and you just keep going, you know? Those are the promises that they set up for you, and they made the game better around it. You know, the same way that cars got better with time. Wheels got better, replacing wheels got better. You know, and stuff like that, like little things. Little iterative things that make every single experience better throughout time. They also did that with these video games. All of them. And this really comes from a person who not only has studied games, has played games, hangs out with people that do games, just I've done and seen a lot of shit regarding these design decisions and how people attempt to market their games and either find justifications or apologies as to why their games work the way they do. And I genuinely believe from the bottom of my heart that if a Castlevania 1 game developer comes out nowadays and says the fact the whip is delayed was designed specifically to be like that, I genuinely think that they are full of shit and lying from, like, the core of their soul. I genuinely do not believe that that's what they wanted to do, but it just happened because they didn't have good artists, good game design in the first place, and it was just like a decision that stuck, not something that they really wanted to do and designed around. It was just something that they did, and they needed to make a game, so they just kept going. Because I imagine, of course, they wanted to, like, make a game where you were this whip-wielding guy, and you were going around a castle just slaying dudes. Of course, I understand that. That's what they wanted to do. But the fact that they made a slow, whip-cracking guy, I can guarantee you that wasn't on purpose. That was an accident, and it stuck. And then it changed, because it's not fun to fucking control a whip that takes a bazillion years to strike a bunch of foes in a system where you have lives and you die and you have to start the level over. You know? Because it's just not fucking fun. It's just not good. But it was good enough for the time. The same way when cars were invented, they were good enough for the time. And like everything around them got better with time. Same way with these games. These games is just game designs and stuff. Alright, so where to go next? Okay, so I can now go here because I remember there was a room with spikes that I could not proceed through. I think I can go here now. I'm pretty sure. And also I can go here, which I'm gonna do, actually. Let's see, I cannot go here because this is a mirror thing. There's a door locked somewhere here. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm going to very quickly go back to the hub area. and see the name of the enemy that I now need to slay in order to upgrade my katana. I forgot its name. I generally forgot its name. So I'm just gonna check very, very quickly. Let me see. Weapon synthesis. Also, can you upgrade your guns? I don't think you can upgrade your guns. Great sword, sword, punch, katana, hammer, axe, polearm, rapier. Nope. Alright, so Kunitsuna. I need to kill a guy called Gaibon. I do not know what that looks like even. When I find it, I gotta like keep my eye out for it and see if I don't forget to like press select and see the name of the enemy on the screen. Alright, okay, so let's go here. So yeah, that's it. Those are my genuine beliefs. Like from someone that not only likes games casually, I like games professionally and make them and understand and dissect why people make their design decisions in the first place and why they stick with them and why changing one little rule can have this like huge amount of like repercussions, both good and bad, like consequences, I mean, both good and bad consequences. All right, so I'm gonna try to go here because I haven't been in this corner and I don't know why. I don't know if I needed an ability or something or if I was just like accidentally lazy or something of the sort. So yeah, like, if those games were still genuinely good, new Castlevanias with the exact same kind of delayed whip would still be coming out on the constant. Like, money printing games, you know, like that amount. Because these games were genuinely good. I actually think that, despite having some flaws. Like, these actual ones. Like Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, Order of Ecclesia kind of generally sucks because it sounds like they wanted to reinvent most of what they already had done really, really well, and it just went poorly, but at least they experimented. But it wasn't a very good game, truth be told. I'm just glad they didn't go back to the slow whip-wielding guy. I think the one game that's gonna come out with a whip-wielding character that's gonna feel great is honestly Mina the Hollower, and I'll talk about it probably in the next episode, because we should be bordering the end of this episode, like the time. Yeah. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go back to the teleporter, which is here. I'm going to keep my mouse there so I don't forget where it is. So I'm going to go there. Please go down. Thank you. And on the next episode, I am going to go and explore these little nooks and crannies that I left unexplored here, and then this little place here, and then likely I will go, after exploring this, I will go, I'll go here. So yeah, I'll see you on the next episode. Ta-ta!